Hey there guys, welcome back to more of my Ghostwire Tokyo blind playthrough. Let's continue. I'm gonna definitely indulge in the side missions after that really fun side mission I did, and I discovered that quick purge mechanic. That was so cool to actually get the chance to witness a design that I felt was kind of lacking, but to actually see that, that gives me such high hopes. I mentioned before in the part of my blind playthrough titled comparing to the Evil Within, that I feel like the Evil Within has a lot more hidden mechanics to it. Oh wait, what's this? Isobeyaki, grilled mochi seasoned with soy sauce and wrapped in seaweed. The seaweed does double duty, adding extra flavor to the dish and serving as a handy way to keep the treat from becoming too messy. Mochi itself is made by steaming a type of particularly sticky white rice, which is then pounded and flattened to achieve its final shape. From there, it can be eaten as is, boiled, or even grilled. I thought mochi was a sweet. I didn't realize rice had something to do with it, but they're making it seem like in this case, mochi is being used in a context that's not for dessert. Its history is believed to date back over 1,000 years, with written records produced during Japan's Nara period. Again, another period I've never heard of. 710 to 794, including food descriptions that are likely referring to mochi. Cool. But as I was saying, guys, I really felt like this game was not going to have a lot of cool hidden designs to it, but that whole mechanic with the... that was dangerous. That whole mechanic with the quick purge and being able to punish their animation of trying to attack the spirit was glorious. Like, no other developer would ever do anything like that. They would adhere to such a strict and rigid design philosophy. But that amount of flexibility was something I was just not expecting this game to have. And this gives me a lot of hope that there is actually going to be more hidden designs at play here. And I'm gonna have to fall back. I do not want to waste a consumable, and the fog is in that direction. They've lost me. So I guess that's another way of knowing if you escaped combat. If your health starts regenerating, it means you have escaped combat. Oh, look at that! I attacked him just then, and it didn't class him as being in the combat status, so I was able to do the quick purge on him. Huh. Where'd he go? Is there a whole system where when the enemies get too far away from their designated space, they end up respawning? It must be that. Whoa, shit! Was not aware he was going to do a range attack. I wonder if I could have punished him with a quick purge, since he was on the ground. That was dangerous. But the fact that I was able to do the quick purge in the middle of combat by punishing an enemy when they were attacking that spirit, I wonder if there are other animations I can punish with a quick purge. God damn it! And these enemies are very vulnerable to the charge attack from water. Could definitely use this to my advantage. Oh! God damn it! Yeah, that is a very risky technique with trying to do the quick purge when enemies are on the ground. You are so vulnerable during the animation. I can just fast travel there, can't I? Oh no, that is all the way out there. I'm gonna have to cleanse the Torii Gate. So cool that they're making you do the side missions with the Torii Gate. I mean, it's technically a mandatory thing, because why would you not clear the fog as part of the main story? But, yeah, I think it's an interesting way to integrate a side activity. Whoa, what's happening? Holy shit! Stay away. Stay back. Ah! Damn it! What the hell was that? I need more ethereal weaving, although the bow could technically be useful against that enemy. Huh. What's this? I wonder why these guys linger about even when you do their side missions. Was that just a scripted event, or was that like a world event? That better be a world event. No, it's scripted. I was gonna say, if there are gonna be dynamic events like that throughout the open world, this game might actually be a really fantastic open world game with a dynamic world. Oh shit! I wonder how effective the charge attack on water is against the Rainwalker. Pretty darn effective. And it's such a cool detail that the lights, the street lights and these lamps, they change color according to the enemy's detection. So it's another helpful way of knowing if you've escaped combat or not. I love these choices of feedback, and I love the idea of an environmental effect being tailored to enemy detection. That was a sheet on the ground, so I think these enemies can disguise themselves as sheets on the ground. I need to use the bow. God damn it! The bow wasn't doing anything. Is that enemy only vulnerable to ethereal weaving? If so, I am in for a fight right now. This is gonna be tough. But this game has really impressed me. I thought it was gonna be a wash. But no, this game is definitely trying to be something exceptional. I should probably make a save right here, because this enemy's kicking my ass. I'll rewrite this previous save. Yeah, you see? It's literally a sheet on the ground. That is interesting. You know, this might be the perfect opportunity to test this bush mechanic. Yeah, I see him right over there. What on earth is that enemy? It looks like some kind of upgraded version of the Wanderer. I need to keep my distance. I do not want to deal with this enemy. This enemy is dangerous. And it seems very resistant to the bow. Like, only ethereal attacks can weaken it. But it looks like this enemy can't come this... Oh no, I think he's coming this way. Oh, never mind. There has to be another way around. This enemy is very dangerous right now. And I do not know how much health it has. That was close. Oh. A shamisen, a Japanese three-stringed musical instrument. A three-stringed musical instrument whose roots lie in the sanshin, a Chinese lute that came to Japan through via the... I think the wording on this is a little odd. Through via the... Like, came to Japan through via... Yeah, I think that's a grammatical error right there. A three-stringed musical instrument whose roots lie in the sanshin, a Chinese lute that came through Japan via the Ryukyu Islands around the 16th century. During the Edo period, the shamisen shifted from being an instrument of Japan's upper class to one embraced by ordinary citizens. As with other stringed instruments, the pitch of the sound it produces can be modified by tuning it. This flexibility is referenced in a Japanese colloquialism, playing the shamisen, which means to shift what one says in response to the mood of the listener. Cool. It would be cool if there were items inside of these cars. In fact, can you... No. I don't think you can break these windows. That sucks because Evil Within 2 gave you the ability to break car door windows, and you could search the car doors for items, and you could even use the car horn to lure enemies, which was a very interesting way to use the world to your advantage. But this looks like a shortcut. So I just gotta watch out for sheets on the ground. Oh my god, this district looks so different to the main city. This looks more, homey, like suburban-like, it feels. I just need to get to that Torii gate over there. Who's seeing me? Uh-oh. She heard me just then, I think. Oh, never mind. She lost me. Oh, so the bushes work. You can use bushes to hide from the enemies, not just the ones from the talismans. It probably limits your visibility, maybe as I get closer to the enemies. Okay, that time it didn't work. But I'd rather not deal with this enemy, it's a slasher enemy. And if I know one thing about games, slasher enemies tend to be the most aggressive of the enemies. Oh shit! God, there are walkers everywhere. Oh my god! Jesus Christ. Oh my god, they went right in front of me. It's like an infestation right now. Yeah, try follow me this way. Oh shit. Ah! Fuck! Fuck! Jeez! Get away! Get away! Get away! Get away from me! Stay away! It's right behind. It's breathing down my neck. Fuck! Fuck! Jesus Christ! I need to lose these guys. Jesus. Wow, for a game that's not classed as a survival horror game, this was terrifying. Literally terrifying. It's attached to a string. Got her. Oh, a Jisoo statue. You are not making this easy for me, are you? Yeah, that wanderer enemy type, that one on the string, that is so terrifying and really creepy. Tango Gameworks, you excel in enemy designs, I swear to god. That enemy is really creepy. And I don't even know how it works. It must be, you're not supposed to judge that enemy by its cover. It is a lot more lethal than you think. And to think, people want to say, oh, Outlast is scarier, this and that, because you can't fight back. No, it's fucking stupid. It's fucking comical and goofy. And because the main character is not able to fight back, it means that the enemies are going to be set up in convenient scenarios where they will never present as a threat to you. They make it so easy for you to get away from the enemies. The enemies never try to take advantage of the terrain, even though it's their territory. They never set up traps. There's never any situation where enemies are holding onto keys in Outlast. The main character isn't even capable of punching or kicking or just knocking away enemies, or even using his raw momentum to knock over enemies. Like, through that kind of unrealistic interpretation of a human, and the unrealistic interpretation of the enemies, that's what's giving the illusion of fear. But this is no illusion. Even with my capabilities, that whole sequence where I was running from those enemies, and there were so many of them, that was terrifying. And it's done well, because in the previous areas, there weren't many enemies. So you were kind of just taking in your surroundings, not really knowing what to expect, and then later on, once they started bringing out all those enemies in full force, that's really where the terror just led to you being unnerved. I think that is a well-done sequence right there. And this is a very interesting area, and I cannot get up there without a Tengu. So how on... Oh wait, there's a grapple point over here. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, not you again! What the fuck?! Jesus, what the hell is that thing? A Shine Dancer? A type of visitor born from the sense of resignation felt by those whose desires go unfulfilled. They quickly descend from above when they spot a victim and attack relentlessly. Damn, that enemy is vicious. Very vicious. An archery bead. Oh, it's... Yeah, that was part of the main story.
森林公園だな。何をやってるのか知らないが、急いだ方が良さそうだ。ああ。森林公園は北にある。行けるところまで行ってみようか。
A recording left behind by a certain scientist discussing his wife.
ひどい気分だ。昨日の夜から眠れていない。妻の状態は悪い。まだ目を覚ます可能性はあると言われたが、何の慰めにもならない。もう妻は動くことも喋ることもできない。こんなにも唐突に死がやってくるのか。死。どう考えても納得のいかない概念だ。私のこの手も死神に握られたから動かないのだ。
You know, here's a thought. Is that Hanya? Is that actually Hanya? Is he supposed to be the scientist in these audio logs? Because who else could it be? You know? I mean, it just feels like this whole idea of death and the like... And the fact that Hanya is so invested in the souls that are here. I feel like someone who has a keen interest in death would be the one to take Hanya's place. Let's glide. Also, you can descend when gliding, you just gotta let go of X. So even if you let go of X, you'll still continue gliding. But I did that one myself. Any side missions available? Yeah. Bloodthirsty Blossoms. Dire Straits. Let's go to this one. God, the open world has me so intrigued. And oh my god. It seems like the corruption is severe in this area, because there are a lot more enemies on the streets. That didn't work. Yeah, gliding is not very silent, it seems. Whoa! Oh, she's trying to cut me off! Oh, shit! It looks like she has the water slash ability. Ah, that did not make her flinch. Yeah, do not underestimate the ability for the enemies to not flinch. I'm not too sure how the flinches work on this game. I don't know if they're timer-based. But, like, fire seems to be a consistent stun against these enemies. Yeah, this game must have that mechanic from the Evil Within 2, where after a certain threshold, the enemies stop chasing you. I'm not a big fan of that mechanic. I kind of prefer it if the enemies chase me, and I just have to lose them myself. Seems kind of silly that you just have to get outside the threshold, and the enemies stop chasing you. Wait, what? It said I had 7 arrows. Now it's saying I have 0? Huh. I don't know if that was a visual bug or something.
電話の音奇妙だな。買い物の待ち時間が一番辛いな。
It's the 4th time you've said that line. Say something different. I want you to say something different, please.
トイレがどうしたの？
公園のトイレにいつも人が入ってた。あのトイレが開いていたら、しかもずっとこの世のものとも思えない声がしてた。
Unholy noises.
悪霊かな？
トイレかよ。気が進まねえ仕事だな。
Hey, I'm sure compared to America's public toilets, these have to be clean. Check out the park restroom. Come on, please let these be sanitized. Please let this be better than America's. I hope to God these public restrooms are better.
よし。渡部。慌てずに食べな。
What? Okay, someone's very picky. Oh, come on! And here I was hoping that something would be better than America's public restrooms. You practically entered hell with an American public restroom. Is there ever a country that has good public restrooms? Oh, new entry has been added. Toilet paper? A perennial classic, popular all over the world. It's easy to dismiss when there's enough of it, but its necessity is keenly felt by those who find themselves at the end of a roll with no place else to go.
あの電話が鳴っているみたいだ。
Oh, that's part of the main story. Children's Sumo Tournament Notice. The Neighborhood Association will once again hold our annual Children's Sumo Tournament this year. Sumo is a long-standing cultural pillar that ushers in good fortune, reminds us of our Shinto roots, and blesses our harvests. We hope to see many people come out and participate for the continued welfare of our community. How do I pass it?
もう一つもらえませんか。
お前、どんだけ紙を使う気だよ。
まあまあ、悔いがなくなるまで使ってもらおうよ。
吹きすぎだろ。
A spirit having blood? That's unusual.
ありがとうございます。これでもう思い残すことはありません。
あのままだったら死んでも死にきれないもんね。気持ちはわかるよ。
最初に紙があるか確認しとけよ。たく。
Okay, so that was a comic relief side mission. Whatever. I don't think it was that cringy, in all honesty. I think it was... You know, like, people have died for stupider things. I'm pretty sure. You know, that's kind of a, obsession when someone needs to cleanse themselves before they pass on. That's kind of understandable, I would say.
これでようやくトイレに行けます。
ということは、お前も悔いはなくなったんじゃないか。
あ、本当だ。トイレ行きたかったのに。
That is so weird. But I guess that shouldn't surprise me. Because people are weird in general. I'll come back to those side missions in a bit, since we're very close to the main quest. Or then again, I could fast travel, if there even is that option. Okay, I can fast travel here.
助けてくれ。 けど戻れないんだ。
何か変わったことはなかったか。
4階の病室に一人で残ってる女の子がいたよ。目の手術をしてから眠れなくなって、随分苦しみながら亡くなったそうだ。
彼女の苦しみが汚れを生んだのかもな。放っておくわけにはいかねえな。
The loss of one's eyes can be unsettling.
確か病院の4階に女の子
Oh shit! Fire is so good against these enemies. Alright, I need to watch myself here. What? Oh, I've never gotten this one. Can you actually go to these different floors? Or just select floors?
どうした？妹のことを考えているのか？
ああ、それと自分の不甲斐なさだよ。
What a coward you are indeed. There's probably going to be another moment where they're going to transport me to a different space and fight a bunch of enemies. So she's in one of... There's light coming out of this one. A paper crane. A square-shaped piece of paper folded with precision into the shape of a crane. No paper was cut in the making of the crane. Paper cranes are sometimes made as gifts for the sick. Thread 1,000 cranes together on a string, and you have something called senbazuru, meaning literally 1,000 cranes. Senbazuru are made to convey a strong wish for a person to recover from an illness or injury, and are sometimes given to them as a gift. You know, I think I read a short story about this. I'm pretty sure there was something about this. Like, I think in the short story, somebody had radiation sickness or like leukemia, and they folded paper cranes. So that relates greatly to that short story I read. I mean, I assume I read it in a short story somewhere.
美咲ちゃん、どうして眠れないの？
私ね、目をもらう手術をしたんだけど、それから目をつぶると怖い女の人が出てくるの。
角膜移植か。
A corneal
提供者が
transplant?
最後に見たものが見えてるのかもな。
3階に開かずの扉があって、
Is that even a real procedure, a corneal transplant?
ここから出てくるの。
大丈夫。
That doesn't seem possible to transplant eyes.
角膜の提供者と開かずの扉か。
3階のナースセンターに行けば何かわかるかも。
I mean, it's not like you're transporting the eyes, it's actually the cornea that you're transplanting. So she saw a scary lady that had those eyes. Like the eyes that she was transplanted with, those eyes actually saw something. I'll need this. That was close. He's probably gonna see me, so... Oh, wait. Okay. You should be turning around in a moment. I can't believe I never thought of doing that. Crouching and uncrouching in order to gain a bit of speed. I remember using such a trick like that in Evil Within 2. Yeah, that is very handy. Why is it taking me so long to realize that? pretty much at this point, every single skill I learned for myself in the Evil Within series, I need to apply to this game when I get the chance. There is a visitor in there. I remember this room. We went through these areas when trying to get to Mari. Looks like this guy's preoccupied with something. I wonder why this is the case with the Rainwalkers. It's only the Rainwalkers that seem to express this kind of repetitive behavior, or this obsessive behavior.
さっき話した女の子に関する情報があるかも。
Kenta Owada, fatal accident report. Kenta Owada was admitted with a fracture in his right femur. Prior to his death, his treatment was progressing well and he was close to being discharged. However, in the early hours of July 23rd, his body was discovered in an operating room. Cause of death is unknown. No signs of external trauma were found. As Owada was a registered eye donor, we are currently inquiring about patients in need of corneal transplants. This is a thought. Given that the fog made everyone in Shibuya disappear, I wonder if there's a possibility that one of the side missions involves a spirit that's a serial killer. I mean, we've dealt with a hoarder, we've dealt with a greedy landlord, but I wonder if we'll deal with a serial killer as one of the spirits. That would be pretty cool. At the time the body was discovered, there were reports of some extremely strange things happening in the OR. Given the large number of similar eyewitness accounts, access to the area will be restricted for the time being, and the door will be locked with a passcode 74398.
この大和田っていう人が美咲ちゃんの角膜提供者なのかも。
暗証番号は分かったし、開かずの扉を開いてみようぜ。
August 20th, Misaki, the young corneal transplant recipient, seems to be having trouble sleeping. Every night she uses her call button to tell us that she sees a scary lady when she closes her eyes. We think it must be some kind of post-op delirium. If her symptoms persist, it might be best to bring in a psychiatrist. Note to hospital director, when I found Owada in the operating room before he died, he kept muttering about how he could see some woman. Then I saw her myself. It was a terrifying sight to behold. She was like some kind of shadow, and she looked like she was wearing a mask. Please, you need to lock that OR. I've seen the shadows so many times since that day, and I know I'm not the only one. The room needs to be locked up before the patients start talking. Well, this seems pretty grim. What is that?
なんだこりゃ。
Shisa statues. Statues of legendary Okinawan creatures with the power to ward off evil. Shisa are legendary Okinawan creatures with the power to ward off evil, modeled after Chinese guardian lions. Their name is an accented derivation of the Chinese Shishi. The oldest Shisa statue currently in existence is known as the Tomimori Shisa and was created in 1689 in an area called Kochinda. Fires were common at the time, and so it was installed as a guardian in the hopes that it would quell the outbreaks.
開かずの扉ってのはこれだな。
Okay, you didn't have to enter it yourself.
開いたぞ。
You just had to select that option.
誰かいるのか。
Is that scissor woman? Are we fighting another variant of that? Let me stack up on Ether before I take her on. What on earth did she do? It's Awada. God, what happened? I mean, this is technically a hallucination. This is not how the hospital was originally.
助けてくれ。気づいたらここにいて、女の化け物に襲われたんだ。あの女の姿が目に焼き付いて離れない。
そうか、お前があの子のドナーだな。
何の話ですか？
あなたの角膜が移植された少女も同じ女を見るんです。
そんな、私の角膜のせいで、あの化け物さえ何とかできれば、その子をこの悪夢から救えるかもしれないのに。
眠れないのに悪夢なんて。
どの道やらなきゃ俺たちもここからは出られねえ。
そうだね。その化け物を探そう。
Find her. Of course, it is her. I know exactly how to deal with you. Come on. Nice. Yeah, you have... Oh! It says 1, not 7. That's why I was initially confused with when I thought I had 7 arrows. Yeah, that looks so much like a 7 rather than a 1. But I'm so... Like, you know something else that was really great about that fight? Normally when they try to use a special enemy in a side mission, and it turns out to be an enemy that you already fought, they get all these properties that they don't deserve. There are those games out there where you fight an enemy that you encountered previously, but because their class is a boss in a side mission, they're able to avoid properties like what I just used. Like, if this was any other game, and I fought that scissor lady in that side mission, she would have been completely resilient to my talisman for no reason at all, because she's the boss. That right there is very bullshit design, and very lazy design. But this game didn't embrace that. Tango Gameworks is absolutely exceptional with their side missions right now, and with their enemy choices, and with their enemy placements, and with their combat scenarios, and with their combat systems. Yeah, this game is getting so good. I'm loving this game. Like, no game has made me this excited in a long time. Like, Resident Evil Village had its problems at the very beginning of the game, but I was still continuing on, and there was that level of excitement when seeing Ethan Winters do a lot of exciting things. But gameplay-wise, Resident Evil Village was already a mess at the beginning, and with the likes of the first boss being shit, and the first boss being Bella, the rest of the game was going to be exactly the same quality as that first boss. And that is definitely why Resident Evil Village was going to be a mess from beginning to end, just gameplay-wise, but so far, this game has been flawless. This game has been so functional. This game hasn't had any problems aside from the minor situations with the strike attack having ambiguous detection, moments where the enemies have phantom range. But those feel kind of negligible at the moment unless there's going to be a big combat scenario where those problems are going to be amplified even further. But I'm holding out hopes because so far, this game has been amazing. This has to be one of my favorite open world games ever made by far. It has a very intriguing main story. It has great characters. The side missions are amazing. I mean, some of them, like the toilet paper one, you're not supposed to think of them as just a bad side mission. It's just more so like people die for very like silly reasons, and people often latch on to these lingering thoughts that don't seem to be that high of a priority. Like for instance, people latch on to things like appearance, like what their nails are like, what their hair is like, all these kind of things that they feel define who they are as an individual and just permeate into their soul. Just like what KK described with that social media spirit that he encountered. Just following that account allowed the spirit to move on, and social media doesn't seem like something that should latch onto your soul. But you'd be amazed at the kind of things people get their thoughts latched onto, and that's why that side mission involving the toilet paper wasn't so bad, in my opinion. But yeah, this game is just really drawing me in. It's doing exactly what I'm expecting it to do. It's definitely subverted my expectations. Like the initial gameplay of Ghostwire Tokyo, it was initially off-putting, but actually seeing what the gameplay is like, I'm glad I got the chance to try it out. I'm looking forward to what's in store with this game, because this game is really drawing me in, and I was worried about the whole spirit aspect, because normally what they do with like the supernatural elements and just the mythology and the spirits is they take those terminologies and that domain to just a level of absurdity, like what you see in typical anime, where they're just introducing concepts, like more concepts, more concepts, more concepts, just so many ways to just let your imagination just flow in a way that is just so unnecessary. You know, as that wizard in Ben 10 once said, like the reason why he favored street magic rather than actual real magic is because of the rules set by the street magic. And you know, I didn't understand what he meant at the time, but I totally understand him now. And like having magic in general, like think of it like this, like you know these imaginary games that you play with your friend, for instance, and it's just you can't really designate how everything goes according to a realistic scenario, because your friend just comes up with this like meteorite that comes down, for instance, or all these other absurdities, this and that, because it doesn't fall in line with the rules that are established with the game that they laid out in a realistic scenario, because it's an imaginary scenario. You know, that's what I feel with these kind of spirit games or these supernatural games. It's like imaginary play, basically, where you and your friend as kids are just coming up with all these kind of absurd objects, absurd scenarios. You're just making things up as you go. You're not really following the step process that you've laid out for yourself, because it's a game, but it's not really a game if it doesn't follow that set of rules that you've established. And the fact that the developers are able to work with that, the fact that they're able to be so imaginative, but at the same time put a leash on that creativity so that it's not so absurd or just so overwhelming as to be like, what the hell am I playing at this point? And they're not pulling ideas out of thin air and just making the integrity of their game just seem like it means nothing. The fact that Tango Gameworks is doing what I'm expecting them to do is amazing. And this is really the only game that is supernatural that I absolutely adore right now. For a supernatural game, this game is honestly amazing. I did not think I was going to be drawn into this world so much, but it's limiting itself. It's not trying to pull supernatural ideas out of thin air. It's not trying to introduce some kind of Deus Ex Machina moment. It's not trying to overwhelm the player with anything. It's keeping it nice and simple, but at the same time providing a lot of complexity with the different enemies that you're encountering, with their psychological backgrounds, with the different environments that you're going to. And they're not overwhelming you with all these like mythological objects and beings, this and that. They're keeping it in reserve and using them when needed. Like, it's hard to explain the points that I'm addressing right now, but this is the best I can do. And this game is so incredible with the way they've just made sure that they're not letting those scenarios that I've just discussed bleed into the actual gameplay and the story and the characters. It's amazing what they have done with this game so far, and I am so looking forward to more of Ghostwire Tokyo.